Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 17, we are coming to the conclusion of this chapter with the mantra Om Tat Sat. It's the most profound mantra that sums up all the teachings of all the scriptures. With Om you invoke God. With Tat, you turn your focus on God. God appear as if appearing before you. That God, depending upon your state, can be viewed as Sagun Sakar, that's the normal stages. God as Krishna, as Rama, as Buddha, as Jesus, as Devi, whomsoever. Any Ishta Devata, you should not have any conflict in your mind. Every Ishta Devata is that. Tat. Tat is that. This is called Etat. This. Not Etat, Tat. So, assimilating Tat, I'm talking in a figurative language, that implies practice of your upasana, which I described. Meditate on Krishna with form. So first it says Sakun Sakar. Move as you advance, your mind catches a higher level of God. Sagun Nirakar. If you don't advance, then God remains confined to your puja room. But when you come to the next step, God is all spiritual feelings, joyous feelings. And those feelings, wherever they are displayed, there is a divine presence. And then you come into Nirgun, Sagun Nirakar. Oh, that's already described there. Then you come to Nirgun Nirakar. Nirgun Nirakar, your mind has been blown away. Just like you were going to sleep and your mind has kind of a joyous feeling, I'm going to have a wonderful sleep. But when you actually fall into sleep, all that you are thinking about sleep goes away, blows away. Simple way to understand. More profound way to understand that Brahman doesn't come in the range of your mind. So cannot be described. Whatever description you have in your mind about Brahman, the best of descriptions given in the scripture, Satchidananda. So that description is not being underestimated. That description helps you. But when you have reached a very advanced level, you are not based on concepts. You move away from concepts and dive into deeper waters of divine feeling, divine communion. So that's with Om you invoked, with Tat for directing your mind to God, coming to more Nirgun Nirakar level, that's the path of jnana, directing your mind to the understanding that God, who is described as Tat, that. Even in biblical writings you have, I am that. Take the H out from that, it's Tat. So, allowing your mind to work upon, who am I? I am not the body, not the pranas, not the mind, not the intellect, not the ego. And I've already explained that. When you go to deep sleep, you are not with your body, not with your senses, not with your ego. And you are perfectly well. The more you have done not, better is your energy when you wake up. Humorously, I'm trying to point out that you are not lost. Body moves away, vitality, prana moves away, mind moves away, ego moves away. The real you remains untouched. A simpler illustration is your dream. In your dream, things seem so real. And you can't imagine anything to happen to your property, to your possessions, to your money, to your near and dear ones. And the dearest one is your own self. You don't want anything to happen. But all this is a form of illusion. When you wake up, you realize no matter how many things might have happened in your dream, nothing comes in your waking state. You might have been hit by mangoes falling right on your head. On your bed, not a single mango. This illustration to help your mind to understand. Similarly, the highest state of truth is Brahman, absolute. And that Brahman is Tat, that. And therefore, the Guru guides the aspirant by uttering the great statement, great utterance, Tattvamasi. Thou art that. That's considered the greatest secret that Guru opens into the ears of the disciple. And then comes the Sat aspect. Sat is allowing that the goal of Tat, how to reach that goal of Tat, how to conduct in this world. Conduct implying how to set your mind, how to allow your intellect to operate, how to have your will put in a very simple way. Practice integral yoga. Bring integration in your personality, your karma, actions, your emotions, your will, your reason, all must operate in harmony. All this doesn't happen in one movement. All this is viewed as your objective, your goal, and you go on working towards it, no matter how difficult it may seem. Don't worry about the difficulty. Difficult aspect, leave it in God's hands. Just to give you simpler understanding. That's the way you are doing it. Day by day you handle so many things. But profounder things are being taken care of by God. Your heart goes on working, your blood circulation, fighting against germs, you're removing toxins. Not a single part of your body has left its activity. And all that activity that goes on, who is taking care of it? That God is behind your sadhana. Remember always that story of the sparrow. As sadhaka, all you accomplish is to take a blade of grass, dip into the ocean and shake it. But your project is to empty the entire ocean. Be a sparrow-headed. Don't calculate. That is impossible task. And then you get satsanga. Narada gives the mantra to the sparrow that you are related to Garuda. And for Garuda, the mystic bird of Vishnu, the entire ocean is just a little puddle of cow's hoof. Cow's hoof makes a little puddle. So all that I'm not going to now too much in that direction. Tadityanabhi sandhaya phalam yajna tapa kriya dan kriyascha vibidha kriyante moksha kankshibhi. By those who are desirous of attaining liberation, they must turn their mind to that Paramatma Tat and perform all the righteous deeds characterized by yajna, tapa and dana without being attached to the fruits of action. Yajna, dana, tapa, you've heard again and again. All these three are actually synonyms. Practicing yajna means allowing the negative qualities within you to be sublimated. And in an allegorical way, the animal in you to be sacrificed. And so every spiritual sadhana is a yajna. Japa is a yajna. Japa yajna. Study of scriptures, swadhyaya yajna. Dissemination of knowledge, jnana yajna. All that you do for attaining enlightenment, every action is a form of yajna. Another angle of yajna is it relates you with the entire creation. Because that's the ultimate understanding. The entire creation, just like the entire world of your dream, is nothing but your consciousness. Similarly, this entire creation that you experience by you, by countless souls, that's the entire creation is that Tat, that Brahman. So, yajna process is leading you to realize I am all that is. And that type of movement is the basis of all good things that can you do in many levels, things that you should do to ecology, things that you should do to animals and birds, things that you should do to human beings. So it is not a movement that is just confined to human beings and politics of a time. A movement that is immense, unlimited, with boundless implications. Sarvabhut hite rata. Being involved in the well-being of all souls. Now we come to Sat. Om Tat Sat. Sadbhave sadhu bhave cha. Saditye tat prayujyate. Prashaste karmani tatha sat shabda partha yujyate. O Arjuna, Sat is used in the sense of reality and of goodness. And also Sat is used for auspicious actions. Sat term is profound. Therefore, you're coming to understand spirituality, coming into good association. That's called Satsanga. You're contacting that Sat. And Saint Tulsidasi says, Tat swarga apavarga sukh, dharya tula ikayang, tulayana tahi sakala mili, jo sukh laha satsang. Speaking of the glory of satsanga, how much benefit you can get. Put all the joys and pleasures of swarga and apavarga. Imagine many lokas and different dimensions of happiness. The Tiriya Upanishad has given a whole description. I am not going into that. But imagine all the pleasures of all different levels of evolution on one side. And few moments of satsanga, insight that you gain through satsanga on other side of the measuring, weighing scale. That satsanga side will outweigh all pleasures of the world. That imagine, to understand that point in a simple way, suppose you have gone into a city, very crowded city, walked alone through the road, and suddenly you miss the point. Where am I? There are so many people, and they have different views of you. Why did you come here? You don't know where you are. And then there are advisors, go that way, go that way. 1,000 paths are there. But someone who knows exactly where your destination is, an authentic message comes to you. And the moment that message comes, it outweighs all that you have heard and all the chatter you have received. Similarly, people live their life. And there are so many advices about how to live your life. There's so much chatter. Everywhere, every village, all types of people have so many opinions. And when we enter into that type of study, that's where many people become so upset by religion. But when you come into real satsanga environment, then all that noise, all the verbosities of so many things, they move away. That one side, all the promises of the relative world, how wonderful it would be, if you have 15 children? How wonderful it would be you could see 30 of your grandsons and granddaughters. Wow, how wonderful it would be if you could secure them for next 100 years. And then people puff up their cheeks with joy. What a wonderful opportunity. To understand well, going astray, wandering without any real purpose, that has countless avenues. You can go on wandering forever. But with satsanga, a direction opens up before you. And that's not an ordinary attainment. Millions of lives you have gone through in order to get to that point. You don't think you have gotten it easily. So, talking about sat, that's called satsanga. When you conduct in a righteous way, it's called sat vyavahar. If you receive news, I'm talking about in a totally allegorical way, to learn that I am Brahman, that's a news. Because sat samachar. Intellect that begins to understand this, intellect, the buddhi, when it understands, it's called sat buddhi. And if your actions lead you towards purity of heart, paving the way to enlightenment, that's called sat karma. And people with whom you interact, if your interactions help you to intensify your aspiration. See, anyone can create a group of people, a kind of satsanga. When you do that, you are creating sajjana mandali, people that come to you in a uplifting manner, aspiring manner. They're called sajjan, satjan. I've just given a few of these. Sanskrit grammar will give you many more. Sat is used in the sense of reality and of goodness. Asato ma satgamaya, the Vedic prayer. This is the world of asat. Anything that changes and anything that is transient is not sat. Sat is that which unaffected by time on all happenings of this world. And any movement in your life, any change that occurs in your personality, in any level, a change that occurs paving the way towards a Godward movement. That movement itself is called Sat. Satyameva jayate. It is that type of movement that will lead you to victory. Not any movement that is going in towards asat. Also remember this famous statement, satsangatve nihasangatvam. As you move towards satsanga, the illusions that used to keep your mind entertained, those illusions will move away from you. You will not have any link, any connection. You become detached. And that's what the indication of spiritual growth. The child that's playing with toys now comes to an age turning away from toys. Take the toys away. I'm preparing for my lessons. in school. That's Nihsanga. The toys are there, but now they are not entertaining you. Same world of countless pleasures, countless delicious foods, that remains the most fascinating thing for human mind. But if you grow in a spiritual way, all this drops away from you, and you are not surprised. So, satsangatve nihisangatvam, nihisangatve nirmohatvam. To the extent you have developed that mystic detachment, to that extent your mind is not deluded. Just like you are moving in a dark night. And not only it is dark, but also there is a misty atmosphere. And as you emerge out of the mist, following a right course, now you are in a position to advance on your path. So that's called nirmohatvam. The moha moves away from your mind, goes on moving away. Nirmohatve nischal tattvam. As moha moves away, your mind is not working with time. What I did in the past, how many karmas have I done, how much time I have to take in order to exhaust those karmas. Thinking like that is moha, moha blended mind. When moha moves away, then God is ever present at all times. Nischal tattvam. Nischal sattve jivan mukti. If you develop that type of understanding, that the real I am is your essential nature. That real I am is not in stake, not in trouble. All things of this world that you are attached to, they are like dream objects. Just I'm remembering a poem from Kabira, who says, Jal bich meen pyasi, avat hasi. Makes me laugh to see how jal bich meen bich jal hai. Fishes, they are in water, all water. And among the fishes, the water is the only space. Nishidin rahat piyasi. And yet, those fishes are restless day after day, thirsty. And that's the predicament of all souls that have not developed a spiritual insight. You are enfolded by the divine. So you don't have to wait to go to a certain pilgrimage center. You don't have to wait for a certain sacred festivity. Every moment, every day, every second, every millionth of a second, there is nothing but that Supreme Self. If that state comes, then you will not be thirsty. Your thirst will go away forever. And that's the state of enlightenment. As you pursue the path of Sat, of goodness, be good, do good, that's the path of Sat. That path opens for you a progressive steps of Mangal, of auspiciousness. I've already given you the humorous meaning of Mangal, where mind melts away. Every step of spiritual success is characterized by making your mind calm. How calm? It should melt away. Every degree of melting of the mind is mangal. Every degree of stress coming in your mind is amangal, inauspicious. So, whether you want to make your life or make this day full of mangal, auspicious, or keep it inauspicious is in your hands. Secret lies in satsanga. Turn your attention to anything that inspires you. Do prayer, listen to certain inspiring spiritual talks, as well as sharing spiritual feeling and spiritual insight. If you are a grihastha, children around you, bring them, tell them some parables that inspire their mind, and feel how happy you become when you see others are being benefited by through you. You become a channel of goodness. All this is a part of satsanga. You are moving towards sat. It makes human life full of auspiciousness. And it is a secret behind society. Society, humanity, if all human beings are going to enjoy their divine resources, the secret lies in moving towards sat. Simple way, satsanga. But satsanga opens your mind to the highest truth. Its purpose is not to build narrow-mindedness. Narrow-minded means person says, this is the truth, what I tell you. All those who speak different language don't tell the truth the way I have said. They are demons. So one has to have vivek, discriminative mind. What type of inspiration should you get? Don't turn to scriptures to become narrow-minded. You turn to scriptures to become open-hearted. Yajñe tapasi dane cha sthiti saditi chotyate karma chaiva tadarthiyam taditye vabhidhiyate. Saditye vabhidhiyate. Steadiness in the acts of sacrifice, austerity and gift is also called sat. If you are pursuing sat, there will be steadiness, there will be perseverance, there will be great faith. Ashadhayahutam dattam tapastaptam kritam chayat asadityuchyate partha nacha tat pretyano iha. Those acts of sacrifice, gift and austerity, which are performed without faith, are said to be asat. Anything that you do with faith is coming from your heart. In other words, we say, if you do things without sincerity, those things that you do will not be effective. They will have shallow value. The sincerity has another way to understand faith. It's faith that makes you sincere. Because you are born with faith. Faith is the latent potentiality in every individual. How much can you awaken it? That will depend upon your sadhana, your satsanga. An awakened faith moves mountains. So, faith has to inspire you towards Om Tat Sat, adoring God, invoking God, understanding, coming closer to God, and living your life as a worship of God. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yogo Nam Saptadashodhyayah. Om Tat Sat. Thus in the Upanishad of the Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of the Supreme Brahman, the scripture of yoga, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, ends the 17th chapter entitled The Yoga of Threefold Faith. And we are entering into 18th chapter, known as Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. The literal meaning of Moksha Sannyasa is attaining liberation through renunciation. Sannyasasya mahabhavo tattvamicchami veditum Tyagasya cha hrishikesha prithakkeshi nishudana. O great armed Krishna, Arjuna is asking Krishna, O destroyer of demon Keshi, I want to know the true nature of sannyasa and that of tyaga. Tyaga is called, let's see what, sannyasa is renunciation. Tyaga is detaching yourself, or relinquishment. This creates great confusion in the masses. Should one be a tyagi? Tyaga means renouncing worldly values but continue to do all your duties in a very normal way. You are in Grihasthashram, stay in Grihasthashram, but continue pursuing the four values of life, dharma, artha, kama and moksha, and go on developing vairagya, dispassion. So that becomes the life of tyaga. Should a person follow this path or move away from the home and house and just go to the Himalayas and get initiated into sannyasa? What is the true nature of sannyasa? And what is the true nature of tyaga? O Hrishikesha, the three names of Krishna have been used in one verse. First, Krishna itself. Kri relates to Sat. Shna relates to Ananda, bliss. That's a broad meaning of Krishna. Existence and bliss blended, that's Krishna. Another name for Krishna is Hrishikesha. Hrishikesha is blend of two words, Hrishik plus Isha. Hrishik, another word in Sanskrit is harsh, joy. God who is the ocean, God who has two aspects, Ananda and Aishwarya. He is full of bliss, but bliss that explodes into this entire universe. This implication of Hrishikesha. Another name has been used, all this with a purpose. Keshi Nishudana. In Krishna's story, a demon appearing in the form of a horse began to create great destruction. And Krishna destroyed the demon Keshi, therefore he is called Keshi Nishudana. Another word, Keshava, comes from the same source. The meaning behind it, that horse represents subtle desires, vasanas that make you run wild, that causes vikshepa, distractions in your mind. And Krishna destroys it. So God within you is promoter of bliss, promoter of divine glory, promoter of Shubha Vasana. Negative vasanas turn into divine vasana, divine impressions. From that God, Arjuna is asking the subtle insight into Tyaga. How should a person live a life of sacrifice and sannyasa? What's the secret of sannyasa? Becoming absolutely renunciate. And that we will continue the next time. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.